Hey there. Start here. So we've got another one of these lovely unit or series locked limited trial events. And this one is not, as easy as the last one for the Rufus crowns. So this is another one of the sort of more difficult, more tricky ones. This one is for Neovision Physalis' crowns, like the original Neovision Physalis. And it actually makes her fairly strong as an ice mage. And it makes it a little bit easier to build her TDH, gives her, chain cap boost if you want to go TDH build with her. You can still do dual wield if you want, but the crowns are quite nice for it. They're not insignificant. They make her Brave Shift Limit Burst hit a fair bit harder. She could be good for clearing out like magic DV stages, like for example against the Undead Sorcerer. And in fact, after I'm done with this, I'll probably go in and do a video of the Undead Sorcerer using an upgraded Physalis. But anyways, let's get to it because there is a bit of RNG with my team, just the way that I've structured it. So Weapon Core is a Dragon Demon, so make sure you're building for both of those races. The usual missions: no continues, no deaths, do in 5 turns. I'm going to do this in 3 turns. Now I'm going to go ahead and say this is not a budget clear. This is not a budget team. I didn't go super crazy on the gear, but it's definitely not a budget team here. It's restricted to Dark Lineage tagged units, which is a very small, very limited pool. The most notable thing missing from the pool are breakers. Now, of course, the 2 new banner units that are Dark Lineage tagged are breakers. What a coincidence. You think they're trying to sell some units for this? I think so. So anyways, we don't have any breakers. Like, I don't have any breakers on the party. We are relying solely on Obsidian Bracer, the free accessory for all of our breaks here. I will show you just real quick. The pool is quite small. Now this is of course limited to the units that I have personally. Flaring Ether Rain is Dark Lineage tag, so if you have him, he's a great pick for this one. There are some other unusual ones like Charlotte. She could be useful if you want to bring a magic tank, because the boss does some elemental magic attacks. Sieghard is a really great option because he can both physical tank and magic tank for you. He also has the ability to absorb earth damage, which the boss does. He can also imbue the boss with earth for a turn if you need like a turn of breathing room for the physical damage or something like that. So Seacard's a good pick for sure. But yeah, you notice there are no breakers in there. Now Seacard does have the breaker tag, so you can give him the breaker materials like Earth Breaker, Light Breaker, Dark Breaker, and all that stuff. So that's an option as well. But this is the team that I went with to get it cleared out. Full disclosure, I've put 2 crowns into my Physalis already, but I have not fully upgraded her, just to show you that you don't need a fully upgraded Physalis to do the damage that you're going to see here. All right, but I'm going to get in there because there's a bit of RNG. I'll explain when we're in there. If we get through it, I'll show you the gear at the end. All right, well, let's do it. All right, so we're going to start. Frosty here is going to do in Blizzaga to imbue everybody. Ice Horn for the Imperil, and then Silverite Stratagem for the buffs. It does 45% amp, 300% buffs, 300% LB damage buff, and the 30% ice field. Very nice all-in-one move right there. All right, Fina, the Dark Lineage Fina is going to do Demon Repelling Shot, Dragon Repelling Shot, and Focused Demon Repelling Shot on Physalis for the extra Demon Killer, because she's going to go ahead and do her LB and put a stack on that. Lasswell is going to do Chain Mirror of Equity with Reagan. Now hopefully my chain doesn't break. I have a hell of a time chaining Mirror of Equity, so hopefully the chain doesn't break on me. The most important thing is that we push the 70% threshold, all right, because that's all we need to do here on turn 1 is push 70%. So let's hope we can at least do that. All right, boom, perfect. All right, so if you push the 70% threshold, you basically get kind of a free turn. All the boss does is put up an undispellable defense buff, which is fine because we're going to go magic from here on out. Now, this is the turn that's pretty heavy on the RNG. All right, I'd say there's a 50-50 chance that we're going to survive this turn, and I'll explain why. So Frosty's going to do 10,000 needles for the AoE Mirage, because the boss is going to start by doing an AoE physical attack. We'll Mirage that. He's then going to do 2 single target physical attacks that cannot be covered and cannot be provoked. So I've tried to reduce the RNG as much as possible by giving everybody, except for Physalis, some form of guts. And Fina and Veritas are both built for 100% physical evasion. So as long as the boss doesn't hit Physalis and doesn't hit Reagan or Lasswell twice with the single target physicals, then we're good. After that, the boss is then either going to do AoE Earth Magic or AoE Dark Magic. We're hoping for the Earth Magic. All right, so Fina's going to use Bar Stonga, which she gets from the Titan Esper. All right, everyone is built for 20% Earth resist, so we should totally resist the magic damage as long as it's as long as it's Earth Magic. If he does the Dark Magic, we're dead. All right, and then I'll just duck out and come back in. All right, so Lasswell's now going to shift. He's going to do quad magic tech. He'll do power of emotions, double obliterating magic blade, and magitech suit boost to make sure that's the last thing you use for the mag store. Reagan's going to do I'll sever fate, multi-trigger. All right, Physalis is going to do magic gunner type, self-enhancement, and load F-type strongest limit. Make sure that's the last thing you do, because this is actually a free upgrade she got. Like, she got a ton of, like, basically a whole kit overhaul, and this is one of the things that got a nice little upgrade, because this does a mag store for her now. So she gets a nice magic store, so make sure that's the last thing you use. All right, now moment of truth. What's the boss going to do? Just don't hit Physalis, don't hit Reagan or Lasswell twice, and do earth damage. That's all we need. That's all we need. All right, who's he going to hit? Perfect. Yes, earth damage. Yes. All right, so he hit Reagan. That's fine. He's got guts. He could have hit Lasswell too. Lasswell has guts. So as long as he doesn't hit Physalis, we are golden. So Physalis does her LB. Lasswell does his LB. Reagan does his LB. Fina's going to have to... So Fina's going to do the Demon Killer buff to Lasswell this time. And then she's going to do double Tender Rain, because Veritas needs some MP so that he can chain Mirror of Equity with Reagan. All right, and once again, I have to make sure that I perfect chain this, or else this is all going to go to pot. So, all right, so we'll start with Lasswell, because he does the Gun Imperil for Physalis and for himself, obviously. So we do Lasswell and then Physalis, and then we'll start our chainers, and that should be the end of the fight. All right. Assuming the chains don't break. Perfect. Whew! All right. There it is. All right. Beautifully done. So that's how I got it done. Yeah, again, I know the unit restriction on this one really sucks. I definitely feel you on that. So, you know, if you don't have these units, I'll certainly work on a couple of different teams for you guys. But here's the damage spread. So, you know, Lasswell and Physalis both doing pretty good. Now, Physalis, of course, got off 2 LBs, whereas Lasswell just got off the 1. But, you know, there it is. Those 2 together are definitely taking it home. All right, you could easily slot in Flaring Ether Rain in Lasswell's spot. Just keep in mind that the boss does have some innate fire resist. I think it's like 50% innate fire resist. So Flaring Ether Rain, you know, he's still gonna crush it. He's still gonna be good. But yeah, the boss has no innate ice weakness, so Lasswell is a little bit better of a pick for that reason. All right, so there's your all missions clear. Let me real quick, oh gosh, seriously? Okay, I'll just go to my units screen to show you the gear. All right, so Fina is equipped with Titan Esper for the, so that she can do Bar Stonga, right? As far as equips, I gave her Obsidian Bracer for the breaks. All right, those are the only breaks we used for the fight. And then just made her full evade, and then just made sure she had plenty of earth resist. She's plenty good on earth resist, and she's got 100% physical evade. So that way, if the boss decides to target her for the single target physicals, she'll just totally evade it, which is nice. All right, so she's a support unit. We don't need her for damage or anything, so making her a full evade is perfectly fine. Reagan is, yeah, just the sort of typical build. Nothing too fancy here. I didn't give him like any kind of crazy gear. Just make sure that he's capped up on everything like LB damage. Oh my gosh, I forgot to even, didn't even cap his LB damage, but he does have 300% demon and dragon killers, so I at least remembered the killers. Yeah, and then Chizuru's card is nice because it comes with guts. All right, and that's pretty useful. Okay. Physalis, we don't really care about the normal form. In the Brave Shift form, gave her Summer Sparky, so I went TDH with her. You notice I gave her a Magister's Ring and Regina's STMR because she needs 2 forms of Chain Cap boost if you're going TDH. If you go dual wield, she gets the 6 times Chain Cap. You just lose the variance. All right, and so that's an option, right? You can totally go dual wield if you want. All right, it'll probably do a little less damage, but if you don't have 2 forms, all right, so if you don't have like a ring, Magister's Ring, and you know the memory chip, you know, maybe dual wield is a better way to go. Okay, now if you put all 4 crowns into her, she does get an extra 1 times Chain Cap boost, but you know, I didn't want to assume that you're gonna have that because obviously you need all 4 crowns to get it. All right. And so then, yeah, you just try and get her the best on the killers as you can. So this is the vision card I put on there because it's got Demon Killer on it. Getting killers on Physalis is really, really difficult. You see, I couldn't even max out her LB damage. And it's mostly because of the dragon. She's got good innate demon killers, but dragon killer, man, that one is a pain to build for her. And then, yeah, so she suffers on the LB damage a little bit there as well. Okay, so she's not the easiest to build for this fight. You know, probably any dual race fight, she's not going to be easy to gear for. But yeah, but there it is. So again, not too much fancy gear. I didn't like throw all my best cow gear on her or anything like that. All right, but that's what I used to get this one done. I will quickly point out that, yeah, so her Brave Shifted LB got a nice just sort of a bump, even without crowns. I think it's now starts at like 270, and with a stack to go up to like what would that be, 345, right? So this is with 2 crowns in it, so it goes up to 325, so a 400 times total modifier. If I put 2 more crowns into it, which I will after I'm done with this, it'll go even higher. And she got another, she got some other really nice stuff, you know, just straight up buffs in her kit. But this is the ability that gets the crowns, the load super strong ice bullet. So it's got 2 crowns in it already. If we back out and go to the enhancement screen, I'll show you how high it actually goes. And point. All right, I know it's really small. It's very hard to see. I hate how small the typing is on this. But if you put 2 more crowns in her, she gets another 1,000 static mag. She gets 200% to a bunch of killers. Her modifier, let's see, where does it go? All right, so it goes up to like, yeah, I don't know. I can't read it. It's so small. But she gets 200 TDH, and she gets a 100% chain cap boost. All right. And so I think the total modifier might go up to like 450 or something like that once you put all the crowns in it. So it's definitely not something you should sleep on if you're lacking on like pure mages, especially, you know, for like the current Dark Vision. She's a great pick to take on the Undead Sorcerer. All right. And then as for Gilgamesh, he is built for total evade, all right, full evasion build. I built him provoke because I wasn't actually sure if the stomps were provocable or not. Turns out they're not, all right, as evidenced by the fact that he's built full provoke and the stomp just went to whoever it wanted to, all right. But he is built for full evade, 10,000 needles there for the AoE Mirage, and then just making sure he's got plenty of earth resist, all right. Lasswell in his normal form, you know, built them for a decent amount of attack. That's just to make sure you get over the 70% threshold, right? So I didn't slack on the normal form. This is the vision card I gave him because it's the best one that I had for him that wasn't the Lasswell card. You know, the Lasswell card is probably, you know, the limited Lasswell card from the Step Up Summon a few months ago is probably better for him, but I just wanted to try a different card. I did build him dual wield in this form, so using 2 splash rifles because they each come with 50% dual wield, true dual wield. So a couple of splash rifles, Chocobo Feather for the guts, Corundum Helm for the 20% earth resist, Ravenheart for TDW. He does have his STMR, so I did Moogle it, even though he's EX1. I did Moogle his STMR. It's definitely worth it if you plan on using Lasswell. Definitely worth it to Moogle that STMR. Mysteries of Hess for LB damage, and then yeah, just killers. So I don't think he's maxed on killers either. Let's see, 250 dragon, 225 demon. Yeah, so definitely didn't max him on the killers there. 275 LB damage. So, you know, as you can see, I didn't go all out on these units to make them like super whaled out. So definitely room for improvement on your units. But again, it's definitely not a budget clear. Obviously Lasswell is the leader here with the 300% attack and mag for ice units. And yeah, so that's how I got it done. Hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I'll work on something a little bit more budget for you. You know, don't expect that to come out today. That'll be probably sometime next week, but I'll certainly work on something budget for you. But for now, hopefully this is something unique. And if you just happen to have the units, this is a clear that you can do to, yeah, just to get it done quick and simple. All right. So thank you guys for following me, and I will see you on the other side.